Right everybody, latest Manchester United news time now. Another video on the channel. In this video we'll be talking about Casemiro and Eriksen exits, Jonathan Tah, Rabiot, and some other news on Manchester United as well. So please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. We're only 5 subscribers away from 2,200. Let's get straight into it. So it was coming in from Gimme Sport, Dean Jones Soccer, that Casemiro and Eriksen are set for the Old Trafford exit. It said Manchester United are lining up two new midfield signings in 2025 as they look to continue their squad overhaul over the course of the next 2 transfer windows. And according to GM's sources, and securing replacement for Casemiro and Eriksen are being viewed as a priority. Obviously, the midfield duo are currently pocketing a combined total of over £500,000 free to Old Trafford, meaning their respective departures will release some of the strain of the Red Devils' wage bill. And in regard to their rival, means he's on course to partner academy product copy menu in their offering of the backline protection. GM sources have been informed that this will be Casemiro and Eriksen's final season in the Manchester United shirt, and Ashraf has been challenged to bring in youthful alternatives instead of falling into the same trap as previous years where they signed when experienced trophy winners coming into the final years of their career were targeted. So listen, it's obvious Manchester now want to get those 2 midfielders off kind of the radar. Obviously, Casemiro been getting interest from Turkey, but obviously that doesn't really seem to be happening. So it will be kind of very, very interesting to see what happens. I do see anything, they will be gone next time, and Casemiro will have a year left on his contract. I'm sure Eriksen will be out of contract. So ultimately for me, we need to replace them anyway. The 2 big players who are getting a lot of wages at Manchester United and are causing big issues in terms of they're too old. They just can't have the quality anymore. I think Eriksen, you probably see him start a few games, maybe Carabao Cup, Europa League games. Casemiro, listen, we're going to have to hope that he has some big games for us because we are going to need him at times in this kind of season. Ultimately, for me, it's about Casemiro just seeing really what he can offer. It's really what he can offer in this final season. I'm not expecting much from him because we've already seen what he can do. He is kind of sort of a liability and someone you can't really rely on. Just due to his lack of performances at this point, if you put it down to proof and you look what Casemiro has done for United, 1 good season and 1 really poor season, and this is his 3rd season. Started off really badly. See if he can turn it around. He's had a few decent games, but the last 3 have been really poor. So yeah, let's see what happens with that. I think with Casemiro, there's no doubt he's the player who gives everything on the pitch when he plays for Manchester United, but simply he just doesn't have the quality anymore to do it. So this is why this is a really positive story. I think next time you look at ideal candidates to replace them, there's players out there at this moment. You're looking at maybe Rabiot for an Eriksen replacement. For Casemiro, you've got like Zubimendi. There's other players out there as well they can go for. We've obviously got some in-house with obviously young Toby Collier being in and around that squad as well. So listen, it's very positive. I think it's going to be a big window for us next summer, but that's what we have to deal with. We've got January window, but yeah, I'm confident that Casemiro and Eriksen will leave. And listen, 2 very great players, 2 good players in the game. You all know what Casemiro's won: 5-time Champions Leagues, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, numerous La Ligas. Eriksen as well, and a couple of trophies. A very good player. Won the Serie A as well. So, but yeah, for me, it's time to move them on. You can definitely get some younger replacements in with better quality, better potential, and certainly you can look forward to for the future. I mean, you look at Toby Collier, he could and may well be that kind of Casemiro replacement. Yes, he's still relatively young, and we probably do need someone else to come in. But look at maybe in a year, see how his development goes, what he's like. We've also got young Sekou Kone in and around the building as well. So listen, we might not even need to kind of, I think we do, but we might not even need to buy another midfielder. But yeah, Casemiro and Eriksen, their exits will be incoming next summer. Now, Manchester United, we're going to be talking about the midfield situation still. This coming in from Team Talk. Manchester United owners Ineos are holding internal talks over the signing of Adrien Rabiot now. I don't know if I know he's a free agent, but I don't know if United can still sign free agents. I'm pretty sure they can. Listen, for me, Rabiot's a top player. He's demanding a 3-year deal at 125k per week. Now, that is a bit extensive. I mean, the big issue with Rabiot would probably be his age, just due to the fact that, listen, Manchester United, as I read in that article, they want to sign young players, players who are going to go on and be the next big player. He's 29 years of age. We've seen what we did there when we signed CASEMIRO. It wasn't a very, very beneficial move for all parties involved, maybe CASEMIRO, but for Manchester United, it did certainly affect us negatively. And ultimately for me, I think Manchester United have struggled with players like this, and I think we need to kind of change what's going on at this moment with the kind of signings and strategy. So for me, listen, I think he's a good player. Don't get me wrong, he's great on the ball, but for the profile that we need, I don't really think he suits it in terms of the age. He's just too old. But yeah, let's see what happens with that. I think Rabiot certainly is an interesting one for next summer to look out for. Maybe even now. I think on a short-term basis from now to next season, maybe, but you ain't going to give a player, a free agent player, a year contract, are you? So you have to be logical with that. Now, lastly, actually, no, two last things I want to talk about. Jonathan Tah, and I'm going to talk about Thomas Tuchel. So Manchester United have held a conversation to understand the situation of Jonathan Tah, but De Ligt was the top target. Although they're informed of the situation, let's see what happens next summer. So listen, Jonathan Tah, he's a very, very good defender. He played the majority of the Euro games for Germany, played by Bayer Leverkusen, was very, very close to going to Bayern Munich, but I think that deal fell through. Listen, for me, a very, very, very good player. Jonathan Tah, not tracked him, but he's a player when you think about centre-backs in kind of Germany, that's what you think about Jonathan Tah. Like, he is really, really good at his job. And listen, I think he'd be at the right age for United. He is 28. I mean, again, are we going to go into starting a 28-year-old centre-back? You look at kind of the profile of signings Ineos made. He'll be 29 next summer. Is a huge risk. Again, we've seen what happened in the defence when we signed Varane. He was, 28, 29, and we see how that ended up. So these sort of old signings, for me, United shouldn't go anywhere near them. We heard Ranić say it before. United should go through and sign players who are on their first, second contracts, not on their third, fourth, even final contract. For me, listen, I know Tah's a good player, but 28, it would be a huge risk to sign him. But yeah, that's the latest. And the last thing, Thomas Tuchel, there was an interesting thing that came out from a German pundit. He said, Thomas Tuchel, I would have bet a lot that Thomas Tuchel would replace Ten Hag. I had recently had a conversation with someone who is very close to that. It was pretty far along, almost in agreement. He said, as far as the squad is concerned, the considerations were different. Tuchel said pretty much at the finish line, I'm not doing that. I won't do that to myself again. I can't go to a club and then things come from the outside. Maybe this is Tuchel kind of saying he doesn't want to come to Manchester United anymore. Listen, that's fair enough. If he doesn't want to come, I think Zidane didn't want to come. Now, you need a manager that wants to join your club. And ultimately, if he doesn't want to do that, that's fair. We can go out, get a different manager who will do the same or even a better job. So, listen, for me, nothing really there that's shocking. I think everything he did say is true. Things do come out. There are a lot of leaks, which obviously United are trying to stop. Yeah, but let's honestly see what happens. This has been the latest news. Stay tuned for a brand new video idea coming at 7 PM today. It'll be an interesting video. This has been the latest news on Saturday. And yeah, let's see what happens. Any breaking news with the video. And listen, it's a big week. We've got obviously our big next couple of days. We'll be building up for that Southampton game. Some interesting things to go out. Is Ugarte ready? We'll talk about that in that preview when it comes to it. But yeah, it will be a big week for United. Hopefully we can get the win with the return of international and with the return of Premier League football next Saturday. Thank you for watching.